Today I want to teach you guys how to remember your dreams, because this is something a lot of you guys have asked about in the comments, and so in this episode of the Lucid Dream Clinic I'm going to actually answer that and explain how to do it. Hey guys, welcome back to Tipharot, it's me Matt here, and today we're talking lucid dreaming once again. This is another episode of the Lucid Dream Clinic, and today's question is one that so many of you asked that I'm not even going to bother quoting all of the actual people asking it, but lots of you have complained that you're not remembering your dreams, or have asked how to remember your dreams, or think that you're not even having any dreams. Well, the simple truth is, all of you are dreaming. Everyone is dreaming 4, 5, 6 times a night at least, if not more. Usually probably more. Unless you have some kind of sleep disorder that prevents you from dreaming, prevents you from entering REM, then you are dreaming. You are just not remembering it if you're not actually recalling any dreams. A lot of people have this misconception. They think that because they're not remembering any dreams, or they remember them infrequently, they think they're not having them. You see, memory in dreams is not like it is in real life. Because in real life, if you do something, if you have good memory, you're going to remember it. Whereas in dreams, even if you have good memory in your day-to-day life, you're not going to remember most of your dreams anyway. When you wake up, you might remember some vague fragments of dreams, but only 5 minutes later after you've gone and used the bathroom, you've already forgotten everything. That's the way it works, and you might not even remember the fact that you actually remembered some of those dreams in the first place. A good example of this, and this is also going to be a kind of update on my astral projection log thing that I talked about. A good example of this is actually me recently. I've been doing my astral projection project now for a few days, and I've been, noting down what's been happening. I haven't had any success yet. I haven't astral projected since I started this project. But what I did notice is that a couple of days I was unable to write down any dreams in my dream journal. And the reason for this was simply that I basically forgot the dreams. I did have dreams and I did recall them initially, but I woke up in the middle of the night and I remembered these dreams, and then I basically went back to sleep, and when I woke up the next time I couldn't remember them at all. I knew that I had remembered some dreams earlier, and I just basically thought that I wouldn't forget them. I thought it would be okay, so I left it at that, and then when I woke up later I didn't remember them. So for a couple of days I wasn't able to write down anything in my journal. I didn't have any success with projecting, I didn't have any success with dreams. And this happens because we forget the dreams very quickly. So what is the solution? How do we actually remember our dreams? And what do we do if we can't even remember the most vague part of a dream? So for starters, what you're going to need is one of these, or some of this, or one of these, or one of these, preferably not broken like mine. Or finally, you can use a computer, but for obvious reasons I'm not going to lift one up and show one on screen here. So once you've got some form of medium, you're going to start a dream journal. And a lot of people don't want to do this, because they don't remember their dreams in the first place, so they don't think there's anything to write down, or they don't want to do it because they just feel lazy, they don't really want to write down their dreams. So first of all, I want to explain why you have a dream journal. Like I said earlier, you only remember dreams for a short period of time, and basically your state of consciousness when you're asleep and your state of consciousness when you're awake are so different that it's really hard to retain memory from one to the other. In fact, you'll even notice that when you're actually in dreams, in lucid dreams, a lot of the time you don't even remember what you came into the lucid dream to do. You might be perfectly lucid and know it's a dream, but you might just go off and do something that's completely stupid and doesn't make any sense just because you don't remember your goals, because that memory didn't kind of transfer through with you. So what you have to take advantage of is the few memories that you do get, and you have to remember that those memories are fleeting, so you have to get them written down as soon as possible. So for example, when I mentioned earlier those 2 days where I don't have any dreams written down, if I'd actually written those dreams down right away when I woke up, then I would remember those dreams. But because I didn't, and I decided, I'll just go back to sleep for a little bit, when I woke up the next time, they were already forgotten. So, for starters, what do you actually do for a dream journal? What does a dream journal involve? So depending on your medium of choice for the dream journal, you may also need one of these, or one of these. So you've got a journal, a bit of paper, a phone, a laptop, a computer, or some other medium in which to write down your dreams. What do you actually do? Well, my suggestion is to start by writing down the date. This way when you come back to a dream later, you know when it happened. So that's the basic information you need, the date. And then next to that, I would put some kind of overall title that describes the dream. Just in the shortest way possible. If you only had 2 seconds to explain the dream to someone and you just had to explain it in one sentence, what would that sentence be? Or if you were making a movie out of your dream, what would the movie title be? That's how you title it. It can be something simple, and if you can't think of anything very descriptive, it doesn't have to be a great title. You're not actually trying to sell this dream to anyone, it's just for your own notes. So you've got your date and you've got your title. What do you have next? Well, after that, just start by vaguely describing the dream as vaguely as possible in a way that you can kind of sum up the whole dream. So what I mean by this is if you had this kind of long dream that was like a whole zombie apocalypse thing going on, then you might just put something as simple as was in zombie apocalypse, fought off zombies, had to run, woke up. Something like that. Something really, really simple and brief. The reason that you do this at the start is because you want to actually get it down as quickly as possible, because sometimes dreams disappear from your memory so quickly that when you're actually writing it down, you're already forgetting things. So you want to write down, the whole gist of the dream at first, and then add in details afterwards. That way, you don't forget half of the dream, and then, you might have detail for the first part of the dream, but you don't remember the rest because you tried to write it too detailed to begin with. After you've got that basic bit down, that's when you start adding in detail, fleshing it out. And a good thing that you'll find also is that when you've put down this brief description, it kind of solidifies the dream more in your memory. So sometimes I will just put down a brief description of the dream, in the morning after my dream, and then later on in the day I will go and add in details. And I'm able to do that because I put down these brief notes, I can remember the, gist of the dream. So then expound on it, add as much detail as you can, but you don't have to make it a lengthy thing. You can just have a really short dream journal entry. It doesn't actually matter. So when you do that, write it down, and that's it, that's your dream written down. And one next step that you can actually do to get lucid from this, to actually improve your chances of lucid dreaming, is to note down any themes of the dream that you see. And to look at what the themes of dreams are. So, zombie apocalypse might be a particular theme. A particular location that you go to might be a particular theme. What you want to look for is, after you've written down multiple dreams over one or more nights, then you want to actually look for any trends, any patterns between the themes. So for example, you might have several dreams that feature dogs, or several dreams that feature a house you used to live in, or several dreams that feature a particular country or location. If something keeps cropping up multiple times in your dreams, you should note that down, write that down in your dream journal, highlight that section or whatever, and write down somewhere else a list of dream themes and add that to that list. The reason that you're going to do this is then you're going to notice whenever that theme crops up in your real life, that's a good opportunity to perform a reality check. Because if that's cropping up a lot of the time in your dreams, then there's a good chance that if you keep doing reality checks every time you encounter it, you're going to start doing reality checks in those dreams and get lucid. So dream journals aren't just a way to remember your dreams, they're also a tool to help you get lucid. And by writing down your dreams and remembering them all, you're actually going to recognize the kind of content of your dreams just naturally. Even if you don't write down dream themes and stuff like this, you're just going to get a feel for what your dreams are like. And that's going to help you recognize dreams much easier. So what if you're someone that doesn't remember any dreams? You wake up in the morning and all you can remember is blackness. What do? Well, you still need to use a dream journal if you want to remember your dreams. You get your dream journal, you write down the date, and you write down your title as I saw blackness or something like that, and then you put in, the description. You just put what you remember. You put down the time you went to sleep. That's a good thing to write down if you don't remember your dreams. The time you went to sleep, roughly how long you slept, and what was the last thing you remember before you fell asleep, and the first thing you remember when you wake up. So you might remember that you were thinking about some work you have to get done this week, and then you fell asleep around 1 AM, and then you woke up around 9 AM, and you were really, really hungry when you woke up. You can write stuff like that. You don't actually have to put any dream content. And the sheer fact that you're doing this, that you're kind of accessing that memory that comes around the times of your sleep, is actually going to help you to access your dreams later on. So after a few days of doing this and just writing down, your sleep habits, you're going to find that you start getting vague impressions of dreams come to you. It might be something really, really blurry and vague, like you just remember there was some weird red image that you saw. You just saw red at some point when you were laying in bed. It might have even been a dream, it might not have even been a dream, it might have just been your imagination, but you remember seeing distinctly this colour red, this vivid colour red. So you just write that down in your dream journal. It doesn't have to actually be a full dream. You don't even have to know for certain that it was a dream or just, your imagination. So write that down, and as you do that, you're going to get better and better at it. So it might go from not remembering any dreams to getting this, vague impression of a colour or an object or something that you thought you saw, to remembering, a short scene of the dream, to remembering a whole dream, and then eventually you're going to get to the point where you remember several dreams every single night, except for, some rare occasions where you just don't, or, you forget to journal or something. So yeah, I personally didn't remember my dreams when I started dream journaling. I didn't remember, I remembered maybe one dream every 2 weeks, something like that, and even then it was kind of vague and unclear. Started dream journaling, and it got to the point where I was remembering 5 or 6 every night, pretty much all of the time. So yeah, if you want to remember your dreams, use a dream journal. It's the best strategy, And the only other thing that I will suggest is also try to meditate, because I found that when you're meditating before bed, you know, for 20-30 minutes every night, you actually remember your dreams a lot clearer and a lot easier. And even if you forget to write them down, for example, in your dream journal, you can usually recall them pretty well. So do that as well, but focus on the dream journal. That's the main tool you're going to use to remember your dreams. Thank you guys for watching. If you like the video and you want more like this, remember to subscribe, and perhaps comment down below some of your thoughts, some of your questions, some of the things that you'd like to see down there. And if you want to keep watching, check out the video that's linked on screen. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care.